If you could Benjamin Button yourself, but not in a way that you have to be like old to young, but if you
Okay, so
were
then
in
why
charge-
What is
Say
Benjamin
Benjamin Button?
All
If
right,
the
just
one
listen.
key identifying feature of Benjamin Button is discredited.
'Cause I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay.
All right, so like, it's similar. It's Benjamin Button adjacent, but you get to decide what order that you want to go in, like age by like 10 years, so decades. So like when you first come out, like when you first start, are you gonna be like in your 90s and then jump to your like your 20s?
You gotta
and
start
then go to
90.
your 40s? What is?
I feel like you start 90, so you don't remember
Yeah.
what it's like to be 90.
Well, how does that work though? Are you 90 years old but a baby, or
Well,
are
you're
you-
like you appear to be 90, but
you're a baby.
But you're
Okay.
actually a.
You get to live 100 years. You got an expiration date.
I'll just start at 21.
No,
Alright.
but then you're a baby. You're wasting your 21.
You're wasting your 20s being a baby.
You better be a strong baby.
No, that's not how it would. You would be a baby-sized. You would be a baby that would look like a 21-year-old.
Old dude who looks like. See, this is confusing.
I
How the
love
fuck
it.
does Benjamin Button even work? Because this doesn't even make sense.
He starts looking like he starts looking like an old baby. He is
Yeah.
found on the doorstep as an octogenarian presenting.
But he's a baby,
infant.
Goo Goo Gaga, not saying words.
Yeah,
not
correct.
old man.
He's,
Okay.
He's not like
So then if
get me
you-
off your lawn.
If
He's an
if
old
you
man.
were a 90-year-old
Right.
that looked like a 10-year-old, you'd still be like old and fragile. You wouldn't be able to go.
No.
It's
No,
weird
no,
though,
you've
because
got
like
the
I
same-
don't want to spoil the movie, but definitely like as he gets older, he does not become like a 90-year-old who looks 10. He actually ages into like a preteen, and then
Okay,
like
so this literally makes no fucking sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
honestly I think the movie
no
is a piece of
loss,
garbage.
dude.
So he's born in a state where he's so old, he's like he's like a raisin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
very resinous.
And then he turns back into a grape. And then then he
Yes.
slowly like turns in like he goes back to like, you know, a grape doesn't start as a big grape. Then it goes like
Sure, yeah.
it goes into a smaller grape until he becomes like a baby grape.
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
Psychotic.
100%. See, Malcolm gets
What
it.
is Benjamin? Is this like a
Okay,
cartoon? Is it a-
Benjamin Button was a book that was turned into a movie starring Brad Pitt and Kate Blanchett, where is about a man who was born like in reverse. So he's an old baby, and then he's like 100, and it's every year counts down from 100 to 0. So at 0, he just becomes like nothing.
He ages in reverse.
But it's also a love story where like, you know,
I watched
saying
that.
he was born-
It's 4 to 5 hours long, if my memory holds. And I remember the end of that movie, like he fell in love with Kate Blanchett, right? But they like, you know, it's melancholic and sad because they only have like a brief couple of years where they're the same age because she's like a normo. But
Okay.
So gross.
oh, I'm getting dropped into the lava there. But then like I remember when she was like 50, Benjamin Button was like 9. She gave that kid a kiss on the lips, and I went, "What the fuck is happening right now? You just kissed a 9-year-old boy on the mouth."
Well, he's
love
90.
is blind.
I think if I had bought into that point in the movie, I would be like, what a tender moment. But instead, had hated every second of it up to that point, so it just became a conduit for my rage, where I was like, what am I watching?
But in Josh's version, you get to choose the decades in the order of your own
Yeah.
choosing.
I hate
Yo, but here's the thing. Benjamin Button starring Dave
Benjamin?
Bautista.
Yo.
Oh.
You guys gonna see that Dave Bautista movie, My Spy, where he plays the CIA?